people call this one of the best home gyms ever built. But is it actually the ultimate setup, or is it just the most expensive one? In this video, I'm going to break down Jeff Nippard's home gym step by step, so you can learn what does work, what doesn't work, and which rules you can apply to design your own home gym space. So what we can see in this floor plan, that he has divided his space into three main areas. He has the main lobby, which is including a podcast room and the lab. And then he has the workout facility, which is separated into the light and the dark gym area. He actually has an art piece in the lobby, which is the focal point when you enter the main lobby. I like this decision. I like the placement. What I also like that he's separating the gym facility and the main lobby with the technical installation rooms, which allows nice separation between the main lobby and the workout room. So you can get some noise cancelling, but you can also use it for having a more dramatic entrance into the rooms. Let's have a more detailed look on the gym area. Let's start with the light gym area. What we can see here, that he's using 3 dry walls to get a zoning and a separation at the same time. I really like this decision. You normally see this kind of layout in museums or art galleries. This also allows him to stage specific lifts like the deadlift. So what you can see here, that he's using this wall to stage his lift in the perfect lighting and to generate a really nice shot for YouTube. This makes it look really dramatic, but visually this works out really well. In the dark gym area, he's using 8 way smaller room separations, which are horizontally aligned and have different proportions compared to the dry walls in the light gym. One way of improving this layout would be choosing a specific system, so either you can choose an A-B rhythm when it comes to the distance between the walls, or you can use a different setup where you align them in a T-shape, so you have more zones, which depends on the machines and racks and also the free weights that you want to use in the specific room. You can see that he's trying to use rules of composition, proportion, lighting and spacing to increase the performance in his own home gym. I really like this approach, and actually what everybody should do is make a quick sketch of your specific layout area and think about clear zoning, room separations, and where you want to perform which exercise. So you can enhance the design and the performance by thinking about it before buying the equipment and choosing materials and colors. But as we know, a good concept doesn't guarantee a good workout. So how does the space behave once the training actually starts? This is where most high-end home gyms quietly break down. Key points that you want to consider when it comes to your own home gym are the clearances around the main lifts, movement paths between exercises, setup friction and configuration time, and where flows or interrupts the performance. There are actually 2 main ways when it comes to positioning your home gym equipment. The first one is aligning them against or parallel to the walls. This allows you to have more space in the room, but consider to have at least 90 centimeters of space in between the walls and the machines, so you can still clean them, move between them, and have good movement flow. The other option that he's using in the dark gym is a more flexible way of positioning. This allows him to have a really spacious workout flow, but here you can use less machines in the room. Since this gym is primarily used for bodybuilding, one way of improving the space would be to introduce a new zone where he can actually use the space for the resting time between sets. Right now there's no real space where you can actively rest, stretch or breathe. He basically has to change the machine or walk in between the light and the dark gym. That's why we should talk about how he can improve his performance without compromising the design. Performance problems are usually design problems in disguise. Key points that you want to consider when you are designing your home gym is to find small spatial changes with large performance impact. This means having a clear functional order and then deciding which visual transitions you want to make in the room. What you can see here, that good performance design doesn't look aggressive. It just removes friction. Now let's talk about something that looks right but often works against you: color grading. And is this gym optimized for training or for the camera? I think actually it's optimized for both, which is really interesting. Looking at the color palette, we can see that he has two gray tones, one cold gray tone for the dry walls and a warmer, more beige or actually grayish tone for the flooring. And then he has muted green tones for the padding of the machines with the black equipment. This is a really calm color palette, which actually reminds me more of Japanese brutalism design mixed with a modernistic touch. I really like this color palette because it allows him to use signal reds or neon greens in order to make a scene pop out. So you can use this color either on his clothing or on the machine details and accessories, as you can see in this shot. This color setup looks incredible on YouTube, and it's not fatiguing for daily use. By choosing the one gray tone for all vertical elements, he's allowing the space to open up and to have a really nice contrast with his body tones. This makes it look even more like an art gallery or museum where he is the main character and the artwork, which I really like about his gym. Let's break down the materials he's using in his gym. When it comes to the flooring, you always want to think about the load that you are putting on your floor. So here you want to consider which machines or racks you want to mount to the floor. When it comes to machines, normally you can just position them without mounting. But when it comes to heavy racks, like a squat rack, you might consider mounting it against the wall or using a concrete floor for fixing and mounting. It looks like Jeff is using a rubber flooring which was painted over, so it looks more like carpet than a rubber flooring. This gives you a nice warm tone with more structure. By using gray tones for the flooring and for the walls, he's actually extending the space and making sure that he has really nice and clear shots for his YouTube videos. But let's talk about the dry walls. He's using a wooden construction which allows him to have cable management inside, which he's using for lighting. For the surface, he's using wooden chip boards which he aligned in a grid and spray painted with gray color, so it looks like prefab concrete elements. This is actually a really affordable and cheap way of including room separations, which are not only used for spacing, but also include cable management and lighting. Alright, so we have to talk about Jeff's lighting setup. He's actually using 3 different lighting systems to achieve a really filmic and cinematic view. So let's talk about why Jeff's lighting actually supports performance and not only atmosphere. He's using hanging LED stripes for the main headlight. Then he has hanging spotlights aligned to the same grid. And then he's using LED stripes on the wall separations that he has mounted to the base. He actually can adjust every single light, which allows him to have a really bright scientific atmosphere. Then he has a really dramatic spotlight which he can use to stage compound lifts or to show off his body. And the base LED stripes on the rule separators even enhance the art gallery feeling that you get in this gym. For gym designs, and you should copy the strategy of choosing headlights, spotlights and accent lights. This might be one of the best home gyms out there. By choosing a calm color palette, having multiple sources of light and thinking about the zoning before buying the equipment, everybody can achieve the same look of this gym. But let's talk about minor improvements to make this gym even look better. Instead of using a direct connection between the main walls and the flooring, you should consider going for a shadow gap, which allows you to have a much cleaner connection between your walls and the flooring. So let's be real, this might be one of the most impressive home gyms out there. But what really determines performance isn't the budget. It's how few things get in the way once you start moving. Good gym design doesn't announce itself, it disappears. And the moment space stops interrupting you, that's when it actually starts working. If you enjoyed this kind of breakdown, I'll keep analyzing gyms through both lenses, architecture and performance. See you next time.